go to fireworks up the lake?
No.
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really good.
No, we didn't get home until we went to Omaha Friday. I bought big tickets to that for Mother's Day for that Leanne Morgan
Yeah, oh, yeah.
comedian.
Uh-huh.
She was up in Omaha, so
Yeah.
that just gave us an excuse to go up and see grandkids anyway. We had all the others last week, so we took them back. So we had six at the house.
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, yeah. I thought fireworks, I thought they did a really good job. You know, do they hire that out or does it?
Yeah.
They hire
It's
somebody.
hired out, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we parked clear down by the boat ramp. I mean, we were 50 yards from it. Yeah, it was really good. It was 45 minutes to get out though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The kids all go out on the boat and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is packed.
And the music sounded good. We got there early enough we could listen to some of the live bands.
There must be a cell piece property out there.
It's gonna be bad.
Is that?
It's gonna be bad.
Morning, Todd.
Good morning. How everybody doing?
Doing great. How about you?
A little steamy, but
Steve.
we'll survive. Sure, that's fine. Okay.
Or now.
Good morning. How are this week? Summer's here. Is in here, I just something we talked about last week, I'm waiting for you to come back.
For these.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's only two in here. Do you look at that? Just one. I started looking at it last night too.
Yeah, that's what
And I have this left in there because, did you follow up on that?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about that. We don't actually create a, plan. Put it back in here. We'll talk about it, yeah. I'll leave this in there.
Kurt. Kurt. All right, I've got 9 o'clock, call the meeting, word of the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Somebody,
Probably moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, Kurt, you got the floor first. What you got for us?
I've got some bids here. I'm looking to get approval on to get moving with. We've got a mower that I had intended on running this year that we're starting to see some issues with that. If we continue to run, it can be very costly on a mower that's got some pretty high hours on it already, and I don't believe it to be cost prohibitive to run it until said.
Right, so just get rid of it.
I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to consign it, sell it as is, and be able to get what we can out of it before it's worth having to put another $2-3 grand in hydro pumps into it on a mower that's got 1,000 hours on it already, and it's I've tried generally to run them about that 900 to 1,000 hours, and that's when we get rid of them, because that's when we start having problems with right now with that. And while it's still operating as should and still be worth some money, I think that would be in our best interest to move to this new one that we demoed one of these. Everyone loved it. It was very good on fuel. And it has independent suspension on it, and because the back is just, it is the roughest daggone thing that you've ever been on out there. That's what we've been trying to do over the last 4 to 5 years, is just try out some different ones, see what, and
That works good on it.
oh,
So in the bid, you've got some things highlighted, or they did.
I did that.
What does that mean?
I just wanted to bring that to their mind because that is different than what comes on the mower.
Okay, so you'd like to keep the stock tires and wheels, meaning.
So we put the airless tires on the wheel.
Okay.
So I've found that after running these things for 800 to 900 hours, they're still in pretty good shape. So my thoughts were, keep those, and then we go to sell this one,
Gotcha.
put the stock tires and rings back on it and see if we can't save a little bit of money, and then put them onto the next one whenever we get to the next one.
Now, I
That's
have a
fine.
question here on this. So you're gonna go with Heinz after the fiasco that you
So-
had last time with them?
So this is the Lawrence store that just opened.
Okay,
I called down, I talked to someone completely different. I had a very good conversation with the other one, the other store,
With Heinen?
with Ball Power Sports as well. There's less than $500 difference between the two. That was my thing in the back of my mind. But once again, the salesperson that I dealt with in Lawrence was very nice to talk to, completely different, and that's why I did that.
sure.
To see, hey, a chance that, because after riding that mower, everyone, it was truly a joy to run and get off of it and not have the jars from all that with that suspension taking that. And then we're trying this, with it being a diesel engine, to try and lower our fuel consumption costs because that is a big part of my fuel budget is the mowing out there. And if we can do that, and at the end of the day, get off that thing without feeling like you've been taking punches in the back the whole time.
And so you do have a bid from 2 places?
Yes. I called a third place, and they said they wanted to get in. I gave them a deadline of Friday to get it in, and they never submitted a bid.
You have one from Heinen then?
I've got one from Heinen here for a total amount of $20,100.
Yeah, and this one's from Ball.
Ball Outdoor Power.
Where are they on?
Parkville, Missouri. It's about an hour and 30. So,
They're $20,551.95.
right. And now the only difference, the only caveat between the two is Ball has the mower set in. Heinz does not.
How long before they get it?
Well, they told me that they talked to their rep and said that they could have one here in a week from another dealer if they hold true to that statement. So,
So your recommendation is to purchase through?
I would like to stay close as I can, preferably,
Yeah.
but with some of our previous.
So have you had that conversation with Bill?
No, because I went to Lawrence.
They have another,
They have another store.
oh, I didn't know they had
Yeah.
another store in Lawrence.
So,
Okay.
and I kind of jumped that to be able to maybe start fresh,
Yeah.
with that and give me another chance. And then this is kind of because it's a lot nicer to drive 45 minutes, or if we have to get something, that is our half. But I'll do it if I have to, because after running that mower, that was truly a delight to be able
But
to.
even if you purchase it from Heinen's in Lawrence, you can still run to Valley Falls, which is
Yeah.
closer, and get
Yeah,
parts.
absolutely. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then if we have
Issue.
any more issues, then I know what I got to do going forward. There did, and I just saw this last night after we had. I see there is a store at Skyview Equipment in Hiawatha that just now became a dealer.
Oh,
Ford too, a Ferris dealer. So going forward, next one, I think we can pursue that as another bid opportunity as well. But as of right now, yes, I would recommend that we proceed with the Heinen outdoor power equipment.
And this is something you have money for in your capital outlay, so.
Yeah, I have it set for that because I was planning on buying another one next year anyways too. So this will be a good, we'll get a good half a year on it. We'll get some good hours on it and make sure it's going to do everything, which I have every reason to believe it will.
Okay.
There's another option that is above this one with bigger horsepower, bigger, also comes with a bigger price tag. So my hope is that this one will do everything that we need to do and save us about $10,000 on a mower, because that's what the next one we're jumping up to
Move we approve the bid from Heinens for
The amount of $20,100.
the amount of $20,100 for the lake for a new mower.
Second,
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the bid from Heinen Brothers Lawrence for the new Ferris IS 2600 mower in the amount of $20,100. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Appreciate it.
She's gonna need that.
Can I make copies of these?
It's just.
Are they the same?
Yeah. No, this is a different deal. You need one for Heinz, sir.
I need both.
Oh.
Proof of both.
Yeah, and one thing they asked me, and they asked why we were getting bids for that, because they use the same bidding system for when they use bid assist for that, and so we both, us as dealers, can get the same price. I can't tell you any better price than that, and that really, when it came down to, is what they did for the accessories, which in the grand scheme of things was $450.
Right.
They, but I found that nice to know that, but looking back and when we purchased that John Deere 3 years ago, there was a huge difference between dealers on there, so I don't know what their bid assist program is between, I don't know, but.
There's a difference in volume, so a dealer that has larger volume than another dealer, maybe they get better.
Well, I understand if you're trading one in, that's where, if you're trading one in and you're using that vision, one dealer, the next is gonna think that that mower might be worth something or easier for it to get rid of, but yeah.
you do it through the weekend.
Yeah, I've got some young gentlemen that are coming out to clean the bathroom for me this morning, so.
Oh, really?
That's good.
Good. Give them a toothbrush.
We're gonna, the grout lines are gonna get scrubbed, and we've got some stuff that, needs to get done, and I'm hoping that the parents honor what we discussed about.
We don't have any more outdoor bullets, do you? Well, get them in there and get them scrubbed in.
Yeah, it was comes.
Fireworks were really good.
They were excellent. I mean, and it was a record-breaking year, they said. So, because when they were pulling in, they ran out of places to park them, and they had to start putting them there by my office into the west of it, in that prairie field they got there.
The only, if there was a second way out there temporarily.
I have an idea, but I don't. It's not really. It would have to be approved through KDOT and. To be able to open that gate so I don't know if you remember, so you know where O Road is? That's where the entrance to the gate, there used to be, right. And it's, and if it's dry, you can get cars out of there very easily. And you just have to cut the fence and make a gate there for
temporary.
For temporary use. And I have no issue with it, but.
They might allow that for a temporary exit for special events.
Yeah, I mean, it'd
be worth conversation.
Yeah, that's always the and if they had more people to help, and it's volunteer, and we've got a lot more places to park people, so we're not condensed to single lane traffic.
Invariably, we were clear down by the dock, great, right in front of a great spot. But coming out, people try to go the wrong way. And when there's two cars parked on each side of it, there's just no room.
Yeah, and it's a long walk, but like what we do for the cross country run, which we do a lot, is we park them up there by my office, and then we get as many as we can out there. And even if they did something like that, and we had a little bit of a shuttle service or something to spread out the cars a little bit more. I don't know, I'll have to talk to them, because I'd see Ashley quite a bit. I mean, see if we can figure out something for the future, but.
Yeah, that might be what you just said, that might be an idea for people in town and having a shuttle service out there.
Well, I think got places to kind of spread them out a bit more, but even just having a shuttle service here in the lake, a couple golf carts that are shuffling people down and back, so that way we don't have that double lane traffic on both sides of the road with people parking boats. There's a boat down there that had I'm like, why would you bring that in there?
Yeah.
The game warden got out of his boat just in the nick of time. Thanks, Kurt.
All right, thank you. All right, thanks, buddy.
How are you today?
How you doing, buddy?
Monday.
Yes, it is.
Did you find anything on 153rd when you went out there between S&T?
It was definitely, brown on the, what it was.
Well, that was on 150th.
Right.
Yeah, where there's no gravel in several spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 153rd was between S and T.
I went to the third.
Yeah, where there's a washout.
I'll check that. I misunderstood.
Or 158, that's it.
Oh, 150, yeah.
Yeah,
we did look
158.
there.
You-
For, yes, we looked at there. For S&T.
Is there a solution for that one? I mean, just blading it up and
That's out by, the Martins.
no. I think it's by the Martins.
Which one are you talking about?
158 comes right out of Mayan and goes east.
Oh, at the approach? I know, I looked at like 50 days last week.
No, that's fine. Just
Which one? So which one are you talking about specifically?
so 158th going east out of Mayetta, you get past T Road or S Road, then between there and the next intersection was a washout that I got 2 calls on. That was kind of and the other complaint was that it's not being kept up as a high traffic road. So just that's how long do we blade it. They need to pay a little bit more attention to that one, obviously. Then
That's the,
Do you want them? Or are these just
they like this.
the Riley?
Yeah, all of it, I guess.
Okay.
Well, you're not turning them off, they're just,
Okay.
This bid from Riley's for the bridge yard, that was what was identified as one of the problem areas down there, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is only fixing those issues.
Yeah.
So this Mack truck, they replaced the ECM.
This has not been done yet.
This is just an estimate.
Yeah, this is what it would cost for a year.
And to do that work, our shop is not capable
It's
of.
an ECM, that's a computer type thing.
Right, but typically they're plug and play. Are they not capable of doing that work? I mean, the work is more than, or as much as the material,
I
the labor.
have to ask him about that because Bryson wasn't here to talk to him about it today.
Okay. And where is this work being, where did this bid come from? Next Grand Truck Center in Kansas City, Missouri? Okay, so my other question is then, this isn't warranty work, so I'd like for you, is the truck down there now? Did you have to have it towed down there?
Oh, it's not there.
It's not there, where is it?
It's in our yard.
Okay, I'd like to have Ireland Custom Ice Automotive give us a bid on that, because they work on,
I think they gave us that 14K bid. Didn't they give us that 14K bid or was that a different truck?
that wasn't on, to my knowledge, it wasn't on this truck.
I didn't
They did one
remember
on, they were working on a pickup. I'd at least like to, I mean, if we're gonna spend this much money, I'd rather spend it here. And those guys have changed their shop and they do semis and they have techs that can do any of this work. I'd like to see if their bid's cheaper. And I'd also like to know if this is not something
That we can do.
that Bryson can do.
I don't really know a lot about this at all.
Yeah, I'd like to have additional information on it, yes.
Yep. So everybody read the Riley electric bid for this is what came out of the inspection from K-Camp?
Department of Labor.
Portland, okay. About items that they found, so, has anybody read that?
Yeah, this is the only bid that we got.
I would assume so, seems like nobody else wants to bid, so.
Yeah, there was a couple that turned us down.
I'm fine with that, and
I'd entertain a motion to approve the bid for Riley Electric for the bridge yard truck outlets in the amount of $2,910.
So,
second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the bid from Riley Electric for the bridge yard outlets for $2,910. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, this Centos bid, is this for first aid?
So it's for first aid and our eye wash station. The first aid station, that price is a one-time price, and then they'll inspect it monthly, but they'll only charge us again if they have to replace something that's in there.
We were in this
Yeah,
for a while. We got rid of it about 2 years ago because we said we could go out to
yeah.
Walmart and buy cheaper than,
And they weren't able to keep up with it. But the main thing that we looked into Centos, this was just, because of our iWatch station. And we were looking at Granger too. And I don't want to say yes or no to this right now. That's just information.
sure. And the iWash station, is that one of the just fill every month?
They don't fill it every month, they inspect it monthly. But that monthly reoccurrence is $100. And, but when it comes time for it to be changed out, stuff, that all is included in that $100 price. And if you use it, then they come in and refill it and it's all included in that. But we looked at Granger.
Yeah.
We haven't looked at, there's some other ones we get to look at. The Granger is, purchase and maintain, but the things that they were worried about, and I haven't been able to look, I haven't. But the things that I need to look at for Granger is we would be the ones that would have to maintain that, and how, and if it's legal for us to do that.
It is.
Nobody needs to go inspect it or anything.
You take and wash it every month and, wipe it down.
Is that what you guys do?
We did it out of Goodyear for years. I mean, they had the plastic ones that he mounted, and then they had the inline ones too. But yeah, I mean, it was just,
Just clean it out.
pipe fitters went and changed fluids in it. And it was all good. So that's what I was just looking at here. It's probably better to do it that way
Granger was probably the way to go.
rather than, Granger, U-line, something.
That
Rather
was
than,
the other one that we were going to look at.
U-line.
yeah.
Didn't Pat get some for the courthouse at Sam's? I thought Sam's had.
No.
You might talk to Pat Ricker and see what he says. And then, just put somebody in charge of inspection once a month.
Have a little card hanging outside, they just have to initial it and then note when the fluid is changed. It shouldn't be that big a deal. So what you said that they were having trouble keeping up on the first aid supplies.
That's something else I need to, get more in depth with, but, stuff with it wasn't working the way it was sold to you guys. But I need to find out more about that.
You're talking about like in the trucks or
No, just
in the building?
the two, one at the bridge yard and one at our shop. A lot of stuff is expiring and it was never replaced. I don't know why they couldn't keep up with her, or it was, Scott said that we could do that, and it just wasn't happening.
I mean, so if things are expiring, as far as like, aspirin or Excedrin or Tylenol or whatever,
Probably.
then they'll buy the big bottles.
So buy one, yeah.
Was that through a company or?
No,
They used
They
to,
had it
and
through
then they
Centos.
stopped.
Oh, okay.
and it was, it was expensive for them to come and refill it because they were taking things out that were not expired and just refilling it every time they came. And that was running into a lot of money. So, like I said, that if you're having problems with medication expiring, they'll buy the big bottles, and Band-Aids don't expire, so,
Yeah.
some black tape and some white towels in there, you'll be fine. Don't need Band-Aids.
Yeah, U-Line sells these pickup
We got
vehicles.
We bought some of those.
Yeah, for $67.
Okay, we got some of those.
I mean, compared to 122.
Yeah, we found some ones that were OSHA, and everything was like for OSHA for like 30 something.
Yeah.
Those are big, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was just verification.
okay.
Just the rank. We're gonna meet with people tomorrow to talk about retirement options, and then we're just gonna talk to the people that are hit their capers point, so it's 6 people. And you know, we talked about it before, but I just want to make sure I'm telling them right. They would still get their, if they were retired early, they still get their yearly bonus, whatever that is.
Longevity.
Longevity. And they would still get their whatever vacation whichever vacation's paid out, they still get that too, right?
Paid out to the day they leave,
Right.
not for the,
Yeah.
not for the rest of the year.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have that meeting tomorrow. And see. There's a couple that are maybe interested. There's a couple that's probably definitely, probably not. So, you know, I'll try.
Yep.
We met with Permadine again on Monday after our meeting last week. We're gonna go to Wabussi pretty soon. We're gonna go look at it. I told him there's definitely nothing in the books for us to try anything right now, but it's something I do want
But maybe
in
on
the
the-
future to
Yeah.
check it out. Like, you know, if we do use it and it works the way that they say, you know, it's a good investment, but it's just so high up front. You know, I don't like a lot of things. We had on Tuesday, we had that fun playing mapping. It was a Zoom call as well. But they mentioned, you know, list the area and stuff, but it really didn't pertain to the road bridge very much, but, you know, just for information. And we had a Public Works Zoom call, that was on Wednesday, or Thursday, I can't remember which exact day it was. It was just, they're trying to sell us something similar to what we already have with our stock program. And they're a lot more expensive with almost the same, so it wasn't something that we'd be working with. We already talked about Cintas and electrical bid. That's me. Last week we did a tube at 102 and M6. And then we did a lot more clean out log jams from the flood. They're gonna add that onto our stuff that we were doing in the path. And she's gonna turn all that stuff in the path today. And then we're gonna talk to the
Conservation.
conservation people
Okay.
today. And we're gonna talk to her about that too.
Yeah.
The W4 concrete was poured and it has to set for 28 days. And then put up the guardrail today, and there's some riprap work that needs to be done, and then it's done.
Good.
But it'll still have to sit those 20 days to cure. And Chris Abelman is going to come and inspect it with us today, just to make sure we're happy with the product, which I am. I'll talk to him about it. We picked up, there was a big, for whatever reason, over H106. It's a minimum maintenance road. Down on the side of the road, somebody dumped a bunch of trash. We cleaned that up. But we tried to, we were going to contact the police to come look at it, but there was no, it was all TVs and stuff. There wasn't like trash bags to look at who dumped it. So.
Receipts and things like
Right.
that. Similar to the one down south.
Yeah, there's nothing there to like point at someone, so we cleaned it up. The maintenance department, they did some trailer wiring. The patcher did a little bit of work. It went down for temporary, but they got it back up. 0528, they needed a new transmission line. They did a couple of annual services, tire work.
If I can stop you for a second. Sure. You might go ahead and just let the sheriff know the location and the stuff was dumped there, just so his officers are aware that this is becoming a trend.
I
That's
can
just
do that.
twice in 2 weeks.
Well, that, are you
Nothing
talking
they
about
can probably do about it, but
So the Agent 106 was there for a couple weeks before we cleaned it up. I can still do that.
yeah, just let him know that that's happening. That way his officers, if they're out and about, can be aware of what's going on.
Yes, sir.
The same location?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So completely random?
This probably wasn't even the same person, but it was so, like 2 sides of the county.
Yeah, so one was in the south end of the county, southeast end of the county, the other was up north.
So we had a first week of people clocking in and clocking out.
How'd that go?
It went pretty okay. Some of the problems we knew, we expected, like they couldn't clock in and out if they were out in certain areas. And it even happened to me. I was over in Denison at lunchtime and I couldn't clock in and out. For whatever reason, there were several people and there was me. I don't know why it always me. but-
So, because you were over at Denison,
yeah,
Denison or Delia? Denison?
yeah, Denison.
Denison.
Yeah. But Delia too.
You couldn't
Yeah,
because you didn't have
there's
cell
cell phone
service.
service, right?
Okay.
And something about punching out at the end of the day. I know I, in fact, did it. I had it happen to me several times, but I know for a fact one day I punched out, and the next day it said that I didn't. And the problem with that is if it's over 6 hours, we can't adjust it, so Mary has to adjust it. But it's just small issues.
And is it because the way I understand it, you have to be at a location that is set up in that in order to punch out, clock in and clock out. You can't, so basically it's to prevent people from clocking out at home.
I'm not sure, because maybe, but the one time was at the shop that I punched out and it didn't work. But
So you might visit with her about that, but I believe
I think
that's
there's
the
a
way it's set up.
geofence.
Yeah, so that, people can't go home 3 hours early and clock out there. Not saying they would, I'm just saying that's what the parameters are set up for.
it was, and it was the first week, so hopefully it gets better, but it was very taxing.
How many people do we not have doing it on their phone?
I count, so we provided tablets at our shop and the bridge shop, and they have a phone number at Hoyt. If we count those, it's only 3.
So there's a phone that's activated?
It was the one that Scott had,
Mhm.
and the plan, they're still on the plan, so
Okay.
they're making use of
So
it.
they're
there.
using it.
The only one that uses it over there, there's one person that uses it over there. And once that goes away, we're gonna have to figure out something else. But it's gone pretty well. Nobody's complained about it, but it's just, taking time for me.
And how many people do you have showing up for work at the bridge yard?
6
And then how many do you have showing up for work that are,
regulars.
yeah, do we have dump truck drivers that have moved back to the road bridge yard?
Because they do primarily work with them. So that's why I'm there.
And you're good with that?
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
a change.
Yeah, it works better.
Okay.
The only thing, people didn't like them coming back and forth to get fuel, which I totally understand. But I think, seeing the trucks out driving the other, we don't want to waste the fuel or nothing, but seeing the vehicles out, I think it's a good thing.
Okay, so they're-
Making a presence.
The truck drivers that are reporting to the bridge yard and clocking in at the bridge yard primarily work with the bridge
Yes.
department. They're not.
Especially Frank. I mean, he was always, we never even moved him, but especially him, but the other two, they, especially right now, they're working with them because we don't have them, you know, we're leaving the rock loom as much as we can, so they're either hauling dirt or something like that. And they're also helping, when they're not hauling dirt, they're helping with our patching crew, so they're working with that patching crew too. So they're a member of the game here.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the explanation. That was brought up last week, and I thought the best place to get that explanation, as long as you're good with it and you think things are working, that's what's important.
Actually, we don't, you know, we used to have the semi-drivers, and they're also reported there for right now because they're working primarily with them. So we don't have any drivers at the shop right now. Unless something comes up, you know, like the machine down in there.
I saw it in here again. I saw something on Facebook about down on, I think it was 158, about somebody told the grader operator to get out of the ditch and leave.
Yeah, that was me that told me to get out of the ditch because it was, I told him to finish what he was doing, but the homeowners weren't happy with it, and they maintained their yard, so.
In their yard or in the right of way?
It is on our right of way, but it's something that they maintain, and.
But there again, what you said, our right of way.
Yes.
And if we're gonna clean the ditches out in our right of way, that's everything we've been telling the operators to do.
Yes, it is.
So I'm sorry that the landowner is upset that we're cleaning ditches to get water off the road, but we're not gonna stop doing that.
Right, and I told him that, but there's better places and better use for it.
Oh, well, I understand that, but if the ditch is full, the ditch needs cleaned, and we cannot.
I agree.
We cannot do this.
Yeah.
We've told the operators, get in, clean the ditches out, because they haven't been cleaned for 20 years.
So the main problem with where he was at is he was scalping the back slope, and next time it rains, the erosion is just going to wash it all away. So he's doing the right things, just needs a little more finesse to it. He just needs, so until he can, I want him to work with a couple other guys
And learn how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay, and that's fine.
And is there a better way of doing it, particularly in front of a homeowner,
Yeah.
to come in with mini X and scoop it out
Yes.
versus using?
That's in a perfect world, but we have a lot of those jobs, you know.
Right.
But if someone's maintaining the yard, we need to do them the service of letting them know beforehand. I think that we're going to do that because we don't have erosion control, and we don't give them seed or anything to plant the grass there afterwards. So I think we need to do them the service of letting them, like, it is our right of way, and if we have to do it, we're going to do it. But I'd like to do it the right way.
By letting the homeowner know.
As much as we can.
Yeah.
If we
And
have
the
to.
skid steer can do that same work also.
Yeah, and they are, but they just can't keep up with how much we have.
That's the thing, because they've been not done for so long.
Yes.
So like I say, I don't want to get started, we start cleaning ditches and you know,
Finish it.
let's finish what we started.
Yeah,
We're not gonna have the landowners, homeowners come down and say, you can't touch my land. I've already got one up to the west that said that. It's ridiculous. We can't do that.
Yeah.
That is our right of way, and we need to maintain the ditches like we need to maintain them.
And I'm glad that you say that because, you know, I'm glad to have backing, so.
Yeah.
And so you believe that particular situation that we're talking about is just a little bit more training with the operator, how to do
Yeah.
it without disturbing more dirt than he actually needs.
Yeah, he's got the right idea, it's just the execution could be a little better.
Okay.
But the only way he's gonna learn is to get in there and do it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have him
But
go with some other great guys and see what.
But maybe his learning wouldn't be in front of a homeowner. Maybe it would be on a ditch in front of a pasture.
That's fine.
Just not, working in front of a homeowner.
I have no complaints about what he's doing. It was
Yeah.
could have been handled different.
Okay.
I'm happy with the great guy. He's learning a lot, and just he's got a tough area too, so.
It is.
Yeah, once they just tell him to keep doing what he's doing
Yeah.
because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yes.
So, good.
And my last thing was the fairgrounds. They reached out to us about rocking it before the
No,
parade.
The
Or
fair.
before the fair.
you mean blading it, not rocking it.
Right, we're gonna rock it. And that's gonna be done this week or the first of next week before they start getting people in there. But yeah,
At the
we have
fairgrounds?
over by the,
You're talking about the road,
Before.
not inside the fairgrounds.
I thought you wanted to do that.
It's all chip and seal. Well, the roads are chip and seal.
Yeah, that's Chip's over there.
The roads are chip and seal, so you're talking about Foster Drive inside the fairgrounds.
So when I talked to Ben Earhart the other day, and he gave us permission to do the staging later in the month for the chip and seal project, he said, can you just have a blade come through and blade that up? He didn't say anything about bringing any rock in.
No, we're not gonna rock it.
Okay, thank you. I heard you say we're gonna
Well,
rock
I
it.
might have said that.
That's what threw me off. I
Uh,
just want people to understand, as a service to the Fair Association, we typically, every year, we have a blade operator in that region go out, blade up the road, and what they ask him to. We don't provide any rock for that situation. And in this particular year, they're going to allow us to use their area to stage equipment for a project we're doing, resurfacing chip and seal. So that's what threw me off, was the rock part.
It is, so we've done it, like I said, a couple of years. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of rock there, and last time Brandon pulled up some of the base.
So you may reach out to the fair board and say, give them your opinion, and if they have money available, they may ask to have some hauled in, and we can work with them because that's what we do, but the rock would be at their cost.
Yeah. We could haul it and it would be at there, the rock.
Yeah, again, they're allowing us to do some staging out there, and we've used their building, it's just something to trade back and forth. Is Karen Allen is still the head of the fair board, right?
I do not know. I can't tell you for sure.
I can give you Ben Earhart's number if you want to reach out to Ben and talk to him about that. If the blade operator or you feel like there needs to be a little gravel hauled in, you can reach out to him and see if they want to. Purchase something.
That's all that I have.
All I've got, we just got a postcard here from Southern Star for 811 if you want that. So, yep. Just information, which I'm sure you know. Okay.
The only other thing I have is just a picture that I want to show you. This was down here that I asked you to look at. The water was running past Nick Martin's driveway. And this is after it was bladed. And you can see where the water is running again. Because from here to here is higher, not much, but just enough. And that is a deep ditch. And so if the blade operator can come in and take that edge off and bring it back into the road, it would make all the difference in the world.
Isn't that something?
Those are the details that I think drive a lot of people nuts. That we blade a rut shut, but we don't fix the problem. And sometimes it takes getting out of the grader and looking at the slope to make sure. And I know you stopped by there and looked at that and said that part of the problem is because the postman pulls up there and stuff. but the edge of that could go over into the ditch and get the water on. Anyway, it rained the other day and I saw that doing that and I thought, pictures worth a
Yeah.
1,000 whatever words.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see Pat.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
And you
buddy.
might talk to Mary about the location thing.
I think Mary's on this.
Oh, is she on? Okay. Or, I don't know, somebody else up there can answer his question about that.
Aaron, no.
Aaron's in there too.
Oh, she's on.
No, she's not there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be up there, so.
All right, if I don't see you, have a good fourth.
Stay, buddy. Be careful. All right, well, housekeeping, before we get to Todd, we have a purchase order for A1 Alliance for the 2 overhead doors that we discussed down at Household Hazardous Waste, I believe it is, for the amount of $6,250. It's going to come out of their capital outlay.
We approved it last week.
That was
So
just,
we
She just didn't have it.
Just need
she
signed,
just
okay.
didn't have it.
All right,
Yeah,
perfect.
She's in that first one.
We have a purchase order now. We have, I don't know if anybody wants to attend the Holton Hospital Foundation Gala. There's information on it to do. What's this?
Now, we talked about last week, remember the Manor State Fair? Okay, so I read it closer, and I took it home,
yeah, it's,
and this, we don't create the banner,
they do.
they do. It's gonna be like this, but just have Jackson County on
And then, so we don't have to do any design work.
it. No,
And then the cost is,
it's the $250.
yeah. So,
200 numbers.
$250, but then they do have an area where if you want to provide they have a display that'll be there. If you want to provide something that represents Jackson County,
right,
we can.
which is for tourism.
Right. So, anyway. But yeah, that's what the banner will look like. It had
And
Jackson.
we didn't take any action on it.
No.
So if we think it's beneficial, if we want to have them create a banner with our name on it, we say that we can.
And they won't do anything unless they have like 50% participation from the county.
Yeah.
You can see it, you know. Okay.
She said, she asked.
Also, so if we do this, and the large-scale Kansas map, 16 feet high, 13 feet long, represent Jackson County. Jackson County, formerly, I think, was known as the capital of the world. Is it still?
Yeah, but it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all we've got.
Right.
Is that right there?
That cattle.
That and cattle, yeah.
Well, we're not, we haven't decided. Just hold for
Would also include Fort and State Fair Game Admission passes, so, you know, if we did this, we could raffle those off to Fort Jackson County residents, you know, something like that. Put your name in the drawing, we draw them out.
Have you ever heard that, Ally? that Jackson County is the growing capital of the
I
United
have
States?
heard that years ago, but I didn't know if we still were. You know what I mean? Like, is that, how was that?
Growing
verified?
capital.
I've heard, I
You
feel like
ready?
when I first came here, I was told that.
Yeah.
And we promoted that.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay, so you had heard that.
is it still?
As far as I know.
As far as I know,
Cause right, like I hadn't heard anyone mention it in the last several years, but
I mean, you
I did
just
hear
look
about
up
it.
Rome seed and,
I mean, who, yeah,
yeah,
A lot of road seed.
we might as well take it, take that title.
there you go.
We need something.
Own it,
Until,
right?
until,
We
we
need to,
can own it until somebody
You know, like the
disputes.
world's largest ball of twine or whatever,
There you
you know. Rubber band or I don't know, something, spoon or.
Could we, if we do this and we get the 4 tickets, could we put all the employees' names into a hat? And
Sure.
pull out 2 people that would get 2 tickets?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
typically if a
Right.
husband and wife.
husband and wife, yeah.
Or
That's a good
husband,
idea.
or guy and a friend, or whatever,
Right,
but if we do it,
Yeah,
we
that-
raffle it off. to the-
Do it for the employees, I think that'd be good.
yeah.
Well, then I would entertain a motion to, go ahead and do the $250 out of the commissioner's budget.
200.
$250 out of the commissioner's budget to participate in the state fair banner project.
Sorry.
Second.
It's properly moved and seconded to approve $250 out of the commissioner's budget to participate in the state fair banner project. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. So yeah, I would say, you got any room on your place, Steve?
A little bit.
Where you go? We can tie a bundle up, send it to them.
We should put up a sign somewhere. Like, welcome to,
Well, I thought there used to be one
was there?
out west on 16. I thought there used to be a sign out there, but we could always put one up.
We can get one up, we can put one from banner,
We-
away.
Well, what we should do is get a hold of one of the FFA directors and have that be a project for their FFA
There
department,
you go.
Yeah.
to put that up. See if they're interested in doing something like
Yeah.
that. I know up here, they do a little more mechanical type stuff than probably Laurel Valley does, but
We need a Rome festival. I don't know what that would be, but that.
well, you can get Kirk to come in and show
Well,
you how
David was
to.
talking about doing an antique machinery farm show with Suzette. I don't know, maybe he was just talking. You know what I mean?
Who was?
David, my boss, and
Oh, yeah.
Suzette. Suzette came in after I think talking to you guys or something, and he was like, "We should start an antique equipment show here." And da da da.
They do that over at.
I know,
It's
it's
very
very popular because we need to do one too.
Plenty of
so-
room out at Bader Lake to do that.
Yeah, oh, that's true. That'd be good. Bring the people in,
Yeah, it would.
for sure.
So do you guys know the FFA director? Like,
Or you got a new one up here.
Huh?
Brand new lady starting this year.
At Jackson Heights?
No,
Oh,
Paul Lyrics is out at Jackson Heights.
do they do, one of the FFA departments does some projects like pouring concrete and construction type stuff.
I
Which
think,
one?
I think both of them used to do that. I think Paul still does some, and I know he did that. There's some sidewalks up around high school that we hang or before hang departments.
So one of the things they could do, I guess a couple thoughts if you want to play this on now, is they think if you go to the USDA, they can give you a report of reported acres of brome. They keep track of brome, native grass, tillable, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They could probably give you a report on that, or somebody, and then look at those acres and take it from there.
Yeah.
And then if they want to put together some sort of sign and get private donations to pay for it, and I mean, it could even go out on lake property, you know, if you're heading out west of Holton.
Yep.
Or it can go at both ends of the county.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Yeah,
but it
that's
would
just something
require
to think about.
somebody to initiate that and talk to the FFA director first. And see if they're interested in doing that. And I'll be glad to talk to Kim at Royal Valley. I know they have a department that does a lot of printing and design work for t-shirts and stuff.
Right.
They may be willing to do something.
Yeah. All right. All right, Todd, what you got for us today?
Well, let's see. First thing is we have, just this is kind of a status thing that had, I don't know if I mentioned before, that Northeast Kansas has a situation with a homeowner who's dumping waste into a unapproved location and is apparently unable to finance the repairs, so.
And who is this? Or where is it? This was brought up from.
Northeast Kansas.
Okay.
Environmental.
Thank you.
It's a property on Indian Valley Lane near Boyd.
Really?
Yeah. You want to know the address or?
No,
Okay.
not at this point.
Okay, yeah, and that, essentially the only, way to approach it is they've asked informally for her to fix it, but she's unable to, doesn't seem to be cooperative with them in getting like grants or help to get it done. So they're asking for me to prepare the documentation that would essentially treat it like a nuisance, meaning, you establish violation, you give them a chance for a hearing, and then if they don't, repair it or fix it in time, then it can be prosecuted or somebody can go out there and, I guess, I would assume probably you could bar people from the premises because they can't maintain.
So
It's a septic system.
it's a septic system,
Yeah, I think so.
lateral field and septic tank.
I want to make sure. Yeah.
You have a report there from them?
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing that.
Yeah, it's just wastewater is bleeding out of the ground onto a neighbor's property. So we'd like to see a temporary pit dug in the yard with a fence around it so the wastewater can pool in it instead of going to the neighbor's property. And the septic system needs to be sized and properly installed.
And the homeowner is,
Yeah, we did get on 5/1/26.
The homeowner says she has no ability to pay for a new system.
are they being cooperative?
The homeowner?
Yeah.
guess they're calling and she's not responding.
Okay. So, is that just a 1 page or 2 page?
Well, I think what it is that you've got to kind of treat it like it's a nuisance and you're gonna have, you can't just say, well, we're just gonna start it and then it's gonna be one thing. I can give them the procedure and kind of outline for them in documents that would take them, partway to it. But in the end, you're gonna have kind of a decision on whether you're gonna have somebody go out there and dig a pit and fence it off or whatever, fix it temporarily as best they can, and charge the property for it on the taxes.
And how,
Or
Is this in the city of Hoyt or is it outside the
it's
city of Hoyt?
outside the,
I don't know, it just says near Hoyt, it doesn't say.
well, hang on just a second. I don't want to, Indian Valley would be, no, it is inside the city limits.
It is?
I believe so. It's right on the, well, no, because we maintain that road as county. We maintain that Indian Valley Lane. It goes back in across a lake there.
I GIS, I didn't look for city limits, but it seemed like it was.
It's on the east side, Mark, of Hoyt.
Yeah, I've got it.
It's
pulled up
right off
here.
S Road.
Yeah, it doesn't look, that looks like to me like it'd be outside the city limits. It's over there by the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me that's way outside the city limits of Hoyt. There's Hoyt right there.
Well, I mean, T Road is Hoyt, the east edge.
Yeah,
Interesting. I'm sorry, I've got the wrong location.
this is,
I got it.
okay.
Here's Indian Valley right here.
Yeah, that's way outside the city limits. Okay,
That's Southern Lake. I was thinking of another one there, just when you get to Hoyt.
So I mean, kind of the end of the story is either you're gonna have somebody come in and invade it, or the landowner's gonna invade it, or you could send it up to Bethany, I guess, to see if she can if she's prosecuted with all her available free time. That's probably gonna be a task, but that's kind of what your options are. So I didn't know if they're asking me to prepare that stuff, and I can do it. It's not.
So if the individual complainant files some sort of suit against them, that's civil.
Yeah.
Are they able to do that?
Yeah, it's called nuisance, basically maintaining the nuisance. If they had presuming they have the evidence of the kids being sickened or whatever by the waste, and I'm pretty sure that that's a remedy, so.
Can we get a copy of that? It has the location.
I got, you got it.
Well, I got it.
May 1st.
Okay.
Well, there's I don't know.
Right,
if
got
it's
it
the
right
same
here.
one.
We have that.
Yeah, this letter.
Okay.
This is probably. And I did print out the other email. This is the one I got originally last month, and then this is they emailed me again. I said it's gonna do something.
So then, I've got a question for you, Todd. So this would, to me, be in a situation if we have wastewater running down on the ground, according to our sanitary codes, then the administrative agency, which is Northeast Kansas Environmental Health, according to the codes, can find that an emergency exists which requires immediate action to protect the public. The administrative agency may issue an order reciting the existence of such emergency, specifying action to be taken to meet the emergency. Such an order shall be effective immediately. Any person to whom such an order is directed shall comply therewith immediately to KSA 6517N, KSA 65-159. That's in our sanitary codes on page 9. And I haven't looked up to see what those.
Which one is that?
1-3.5 on page 9, emergency orders. So it sounds to me like Northeast Kansas Environmental has the power right there to do what they need to do without getting you involved.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to, well, and I was looking at, page 12, 1-3.22, and after.
What dash 322?
Yeah, so that goes down all to basically 1.3.28.
There again, the administrative agency, which is Northeast Kansas Environmental,
Yeah.
may maintain a civil action. So that sounds to me like they need to take the ball and run with it in both instances.
Well, and I think they're saying they don't know, they don't have the documentation to do that. And I think, so I guess your point being is that they should have their own.
Yes. It says that they can issue per these statutes or per these administrative HDA, whatever it was, blah, blah, blah. They have the power to issue the emergency order to take the necessary action. And as is stated, I believe, in the very first line of the sanitary codes, they are the administrative agency for Jackson County.
Steve, how are you?
Good.
And it says here, I look at 1-3.27, county attorney, county council, county, or the county council, designee shall enforce provisions of this code and other environmental sanitary code adopted by the county, direct to file appropriate actions for the enforcement within 60 days of receipt of request by the administrative agency. Actions for injunction, mandamus, and quo warranto. So, yeah, okay, so maybe that's where I assumed wrongly that because the fact, I mean, at the end of the day, if there is a lawsuit, civil action, that's on us. Meaning, they have to go through this process first. Either they make
Who does?
Northeast Kansas
Okay.
makes the emergency order, though I don't know how they enforce that.
Well, that's what I would say, that we need to look up to see what KSA 65-17N and KS 65-159 is, what those say.
Let's find out. There's no KSA's 65-17N. I think that's. It's 170.
year.
Looking that up, Mark, I'm gonna.
Sure.
See.
Yep.
On this one. Yeah.
So is that a misprint in there? Because
Yeah, well-
17 has to do with involving the funeral directors.
What is it, 165, well, I think it's 65, like it could be 107, I think it's three numbers. I think it should be three numbers. 170 and,
Well, like I say, even at that, well, 170? Let's go down there.
well, 65, 159 is abatement of nuisances, failure to remove penalties. It just says the Secretary of Health and Environment and the county or joint boards of health shall have the power and authority to examine nuisances. And if the owner or occupant shall fail to obey such orders, such owner or occupant upon conviction shall be fined not less than $10, not more than $100, in each day's continuance of such nuisance. It's a separate violation.
Yes.
So I think what this says
Yeah,
essentially
thank you.
that they'll issue this order, this emergency order, and if they don't comply with it, they will be prosecuted.
Okay.
Presumably would be to their death, and thereafter would be, basically a criminal penalty. So it's kind of, I think, all routes to the same thing, meaning
I think-
the administrative part of it is there, is presuming that it all fails, then they would.
Something needs to be pushed. Somebody needs to be the lead on this and push it, because if she's not responding and there is funding available to fix the issue, it's going to take her initiative to apply for the funding. Because they're going to require all kinds, probably, income statements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if it comes, push comes to shove, the individual doesn't respond.
Well, it says here on the 22nd that she did respond to follow up that her, so.
Right, my question is, at the end of this process, if she doesn't take the initiative to apply for funding, show records of funding, whatever, then we apply. What's the end game? What can we ultimately do? Because we apply that to their taxes. Do we?
Well, I think there's basically two outcomes to this. When you prosecute her, that's real prosecution. That means like a criminal penalty, and I presume that she's assessed a fine that whatever per day until it's fixed.
Okay.
Now, I can't predict what the judge would do, but arguably, if it's they'll incur that penalty on a daily basis, and I guess if not corrected or paid, I suppose the judge could find her in contempt and put her in jail. I don't know if he issued an order that would make the property basically like a
uninhabitable.
Yeah, like a placarding and removing a person. But I don't know that it's beyond the court's power. I just don't know when you get to that. The other way is that I don't think the court could order abatement. It doesn't seem like that's in this, but it seems that Northeast Kansas could, through the process, abatement. I can order it vacated administratively. So they can issue an order that has just Northeast Kansas can issue an order that they have to vacate the property.
Okay. Without you doing anything, then they can forward that on to the attorney's office upstairs?
Well, no, this is, well, I mean, I think there's no, essentially what they're doing is administrative order, so it would just be, you know, you gotta vacate, presuming they vacate, and then it just sits there until it's fixed, right? They can't come back until they fix it. It's an unclassified misdemeanor, so yeah, if they stayed or continued to be recalcitrant, then at that point, the county attorney would presumably bring misdemeanor action. And the same thing would result. So, but that's not the second, I mean, the second thing is whether they have the right, we have the right to go on there, or they do, which is Northeast Kansas, go on and abate it and charge the property.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's on Northeast Kansas, not on our county counselor or us to do it, because it's all spelled out in here what they are able to do and what they should do.
Yeah, I get that piece of it. I just want to know what can we do, what can be done legally, and what's the outcome? Because the ultimate outcome is that it gets fixed. Or it's not inhabitable and nobody's using it, so therefore the waste quits running. And that's,
Well, yeah, I think the other one is that the way it looks now, since I'm looking at 3.22, 1-3.22, it's pretty vague, but that to me is, it says to me that you go through the procedure below it, then the county, not Northeast Kansas, in the name of the Board of County Commissioners, will file an action, and that would be a civil action for abatement. So,
abatement
meaning that somebody will be going on the property and fixing whatever needs to be fixed, either temporarily or permanently.
and who pays for that?
That will be probably the landowner.
But if they have no funds,
Yeah, then it's on the property, and again, we're probably talking about tax, sale, and whether we're in any different position ultimately is a question, because it's whatever it costs to do that.
so in your mind, Mark, then the next action should come from Northeast Kansas.
Yes.
So do you feel comfortable reaching
Yeah, I'll
out?
call Martha and tell her that. Tell her according to our sanitary codes, it's on her to start the ball rolling on everything.
Okay.
And was this the last contact you had with Northeast Kansas?
No, she emailed me
Okay,
again, just like a week.
okay.
So go and saying,
Because it
we-
said that, that lady said that she had filled out papers, applications and stuff, so.
Yeah, and it was basically that nothing is happening,
I
we
got
really
you.
need to start moving on this or something.
And then
Okay.
we'll give Steve direction to go down because of the last.
Because of the camper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And verify what information Steve needs to get to
Yep.
verify whether they can legally be there, if they have a building permit, and they're trying to build something, whatever that may be, but gather information based on that last
Yep.
bit in that paragraph.
Okay, so I just hold on
Yeah, I can hold off on that because like I say, I'll give Martha a call and talk to her and tell her that until she fulfills everything that, them as the administrating agency has for their toolkit, then we're out of it until they do that.
Okay. Tara, would you make Steve a copy of that so he has that? Thank you.
The letter.
Yeah, it's got the address and the situation on it. That way Steve can address it. If he sees us.
that. Okay, I think we got some folks in the audience. I'm just,
I
here.
just wanted to drop this off, see if you think this is all right.
Well, is this total, is that just their part, or is that the whole thing?
That's the taxes.
Oh, it's not including special use. Yeah, I think that's, you might want to just say here, the total due as above or for court fees, abstracts, and everything. I think that's good. You just send that and then
Right.
probably, yeah, and then, do you have a deadline on that?
I haven't put them on there yet.
Yeah, tell them, I mean, I guess, you guys, tell them, say you'd like to have your answer within 2 weeks.
That sounds good.
You might want to look at when their meetings are too,
Yeah.
to let them have a council meeting.
All right.
Okay. The other thing that Steve asked, and this was his question, was a while back,
What's that?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
a while back before, when we were in the process of amending the zoning code about the agricultural use, I drafted a memo to discuss the legal ramifications. At the time, I think it was, under abundance of caution, I had the privilege, but Steve wants to know if we should go ahead and just give it to can't give it to the planning commission to review because it has more detail to it than what they're getting. And I don't think it has any problems. I don't think it's a problem to give it to them because it's not a liability situation. It's just I was can automatically do that.
And this is in reference to what?
Remember the ag property concept, which is just when is something an ag property that's not subject to zoning?
Okay.
Like, isn't it in?
How do you define it?
Yeah. And that was kind of how we encapsulated the issue, and then we said, okay, now here's the changes to the zoning code. So everybody's getting the change to the zoning code, they're not getting the thought prior to
This is the plot behind it.
Okay.
I was just happened to be going through the file, sorting this out, and I found this, it was from an argument last December. Over a building permit, and that was an ag building.
On 5 acres and.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And my
I
question
mean, we don't
was,
have any duty to keep that
Yeah.
confidential.
but it says attorney-client privilege across the front of it, and it was my question if I could give that to the planning commission for support.
You don't see a problem with it? Okay.
But this just goes through and gives definition for an individual who may think they live on a property that would be ag exempt.
Yeah.
And this would lay it out for them, so they understand, oh, yes I am, or oh, no I don't.
And even if they are ag exempt, why we still have to have the permit to go through and verify those 2 items?
Then yes, I'm in favor of sharing that with the zoning and planning board because it's important that they know that, know what those definitions are, and why we're doing it, and why it's done in this county that way.
So here last week, I knew we had to be by 10 to talk to him, that's why there's only 1 copy.
That's fine.
And he suggested it's your guys' decision.
Well, I sent the
For the commissioner's decision.
Better.
Yeah, I got it.
provisions.
Steve, one of the other things I wonder, how would you
Check with,
would you feel
I don't
comfortable
have a problem if you
going out
They have
like in September
You don't have to sign agreement.
and looking at all new construction pieces that are being built
I think we're ahead.
and take pictures and measurements as a way, would you feel comfortable doing that? If we added that to your list of things to do, you would collect that data just on new construction, not anything else.
Your stuff in
It's permanent.
basically stuff that we permitted.
Correct. You would go back out, you would have a list of it, you would take pictures and then you would give that to Kate's office. Is that something that you would,
As long as I can meet Kate's criteria. So I have got, there's 2 gals that are really practiced at it, that probably did more than I have to get it sort of covered all the information that she needs.
right, because it's just the pictures
Yeah.
and then length and width. Just trying to think of a way that helps their office a little bit, and it would be something that you've permitted already, but maybe could help out in that fashion.
Yeah.
And you could, again, this is just a suggestion, if we end up pulling somebody out of our office, I know this was one of those things that came up, and as I was reading that, came to mind. Maybe you go, okay, in the month of September or October, every Wednesday, my office is closed, and you go up, if you have a question, go upstairs, because you're out taking measurements and doing some of that work. I'm kind of springing this on you, but as I read this, I thought through that. And
Oh, yeah, that's
what do
something
you
to
guys
think about, yeah.
think about it?
Okay.
See what those criteria are that Kate requires. And we can have a conversation with her, and this would be a way to help absorb some of that load. Get you out to see what the new construction looks like and some of those things, because that does play into, what you're doing, but not necessarily is part of this job. So, just a thought.
Yeah.
We'll continue the conversation.
All right.
Thank you.
So we got just a general consensus, it's okay to get that anyway.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Communication by the folks who now are in charge of the Ham quarry. They have no record showing prior rock provided to the county under the donation, whatever you call it. They said they'll honor the amount retroactively. There's a specific amount, type, and timeline. When they would like the rock, we can work on making this available. So he's just offering to meet with county staff to work on the updated agreements and stuff. So I guess that's kind of where it stands. Is it seems to me that you start when the contract was signed and tag on whatever amounts they should have gotten
Over those years.
over those years, and then we'll say, here's the total, and
And I believe they've already been going out there and getting that right.
yeah,
I think that's what they indicated, yeah.
yeah, we'll just kind of account for that some way and going forward so that we get the past announced.
Okay, so who's gonna do that? Who's gonna go back and look at Terry, is that something you have the ability to see when the last contract was,
We only have one, I believe.
Yeah, there's just the one.
since they took it over?
We only have one from the very beginning, we've never renewed it. What year was it? 2020.
2020.
Okay.
And so they're doing it for 26, so we have 5 years, so 5 times 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if somebody, like I said, you account for the ones that we're getting now, somebody from Road Bridge is getting, or whoever can get that at a number that we can seize on, and you just want like all 5 years right now, or like,
Well, it'd be 6 total.
Well, they're getting to 6 right now, 6th year right now.
Right, I understand that, but he said 5 years, so I was just making sure
Yeah.
everybody was on the same page.
yeah.
So, would you feel, you could just send a letter back to him saying, here's a copy of the last signed contract
Yep.
based on 2020, so we calculate 30,000 total tons. We've been picking up some of that currently.
Yeah, well, taking that off will give us a number. Yeah, that's easy enough, I
Easy
guess. And then the
Moving forward,
the new agreement moving forward, that's kind of you want to memorialize that in the new agreement, to my mind.
and you might just share that with them, that we're gonna be putting together a new agreement and,
Yeah, I said that, and that's what they're saying, they're ready
yeah,
to proceed.
I think in the new agreement, the one thing that we were gonna hammer on was them taking over the dust control, correct? And everything else is pretty much okay.
Well, do we want them to handle it, or are we gonna make the arrangements and they'll reimburse?
I
the
think
county?
the same way as we do down here, we make the arrangements and they can reimburse us for the cost.
Well, right now, Mid-States does not, or Venice, they don't reimburse us for the dust control down here.
They only did so much, correct? I mean, when they, I think when the original agreement was what, they provided the 3 bags or 4 bags or whatever.
We don't
Well,
do
they
anything.
got a couple of things. The first one is they, I guess you get a discount for the road maintenance, right?
Right, we get a discount.
So that's not the dust control. That just says, for the damage you're doing to the roads, you're gonna give us a lower price. Right?
Right.
And we're still looking for that price.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a water tube at the corner.
The 15 cents is supposed to cover the cost of the dust.
Or the gravel. Is it just, there's just the gravel?
Well,
Or
it
that
doesn't-
we have to add?
No, it says
It
payment.
says dust.
Does it say dust
Where
control?
does it say that? Does that say in Martin Marietta or is this?
This the hand one. I think it says that in this. Where it says it's
County will
on.
continue to maintain the county road system surrounding Soldier Court. They're paying for just every ton. And the check payable to the county, multiplied to 50 cents per ton. So it just says road maintenance, it doesn't say,
But in the different section where it
Yeah.
talks about dust.
it won't make a difference.
Is that the Hams one?
Okay. But not the Venice one. The Venice one
Yeah,
doesn't
6.
say that.
This is paragraph 6 of the Hams. County will control and pay for application of a dust pallet agent. The haul roads identified. They specifically outline the roads.
Because the 15 cents is a check that comes every month. Yeah.
It says the cost of application of dust palliative is intended to be covered by the county contemplated in this agreement. And the county will be paid together to repair roadways to maximize the effectiveness of dust palliative. Yeah, so basically this is just saying county does dust control, the payment for it is part of the 15 cents, and here's what we're doing. And the only agreement by Hams is that they're gonna, I guess, somehow make the roads, all roads sufficient for that purpose. When you apply it, I don't know what that means. But
They wouldn't be doing any blading on it.
this is Ham and the county shall work together in good faith to repair roadways to maximize the effectiveness of dust control.
And right there, it does say that the county will pay, control and pay for it.
That's what 15 cents was intended. The Mid-States one, it says like 2 bags or 2 totes or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've been giving us $4,000 the last few years.
Because we got a
instead.
verbal agreement from them to switch over to the liquid, yeah.
So what do you want going forward with them? Steve?
Which contract?
Just Hams.
Just Hams, okay.
That's about Hams.
So yeah, the 500 tons and then, I think it's important to continue to get that.
Still 15 cents or more expensive per ton that we should be getting from them.
Well, I don't know how many tons they're selling out of there a year. You know what, that would be,
Well, or I guess maybe the first one is, what is it, dust control, or are we gonna change that?
Yeah, because you would then pay for dust control on the road, right?
and state it's 15 cents. That's,
That'd be okay.
well, are they under the assumption that 15 cents is to pay for the dust control?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I want to tell them if we're changing that, because I think right now they would say 50 cents we're paying is for dust control and all road repairs. And if we're going to say, well, that's no longer the case, I think probably the kind of back and forth.
Because that's only a mile and a half,
It's 2 miles.
2 miles. So you're talking $13,000, almost $13,000
Yes.
for dust control.
With the
So what have we gotten the last
I
year?
can show you the 2025, the 2024, and the 2023 hand. It's the green
Amounts?
highlighted.
It's a
yes.
green highlight, okay.
You're prepared.
So it's basically a wash.
I mean, all the money that you get for override.
14,860 in 25, 14,467 in 24, and 4,794 in 23.
So maybe the better way to put that, instead of calculating on,
You guys want to see that, or is that?
not yet.
Okay.
Instead of calculating on tons sold, if they have a bad year, nobody's buying gravel, maybe it's only $7,000. I would just put into the contract moving forward, since we're doing a new one, dust abatement chemical applied at current rate to the county. We pay it, they reimburse us. So if this year it's $1.23 per lineal foot, next year it's $1.45, next year they have to pay $1.45. That's just my
I
thought.
would agree with that.
That way, it's taking the whole calculation of how many tons they're selling out of the deal. We pay for it, we send them a bill, they write a check.
And then nothing for other maintenance.
And then just the 500 tons of gravel would be to maintain those 2 miles, if it needs gravel, because eventually it's going to need gravel, because those trucks are gonna beat it down to the point where it's gonna have to be reground. That's just my thought.
I would agree with that. I think that's probably the best way to handle that.
Tara, does that document show what Mid-States paid us?
Yeah, it's right there a little bit.
Now, Mid-States doesn't pay monthly, they pay
They
yearly
annually.
in after the year is over. So I think I wrote the year on there, so it's. And their route is 8 miles, so that's almost $51,000.
Yeah.
So
I have
their
9
fee is
miles,
not
but-
high enough.
What's that?
Their fee would not be high enough to cover the dust control. Their 15 cents is not high enough
So
right now with the current tonnage.
I calculated 6,000.
336.
Yeah, $1.32 times 5.
It was $1.20 this year.
It was $1.20,
Yes.
even better. Times the 8 miles at $6,336 per mile times the 8 miles is 50,000.
688.
Right. Last year to date, they paid us $97,000, but this time it says.
That's from 2024.
Moving for all the way, for 2 years, 3 years.
That's
What-
2024.
So what are they paying us annually? When we get that
What
annual
we
check,
got for 2025 was like $16,000.
that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. That's what the annual payment has been on the 15 cents per ton. Okay.
It used to be a lot higher, but now that we're not hauling very much from there, it's dropped a lot.
So again, with their contract, we would be better off just saying, we'll dust abate the whole haul route, 8 miles, over because it's 5 to W south of 134, and then 134 over to Jeff County line.
Here's the 15. Here's what we got for 25. I still have that one
Thank
somewhere, I guess. It has my numbers on it. But
We, in the new contract, we would say, we'll take care of making the arrangements, we'll send you a bill for this.
Okay, so the same thing. We pay, they pay. You want it to be like, we're gonna get an estimate of cost, they pay it, and we do it?
Yeah, we just hired a company out of Home City to come down and spray it when they do, and we just get it done. We can send them a letter ahead of time saying, okay, this year's price is $1.23, and it's gonna be X number of dollars.
Now, do we
Well,
want
I'm
to try
trying
to,
to, yeah, I'm trying to get the money first, and then they do the estimate, so, as opposed to doing anything, so trying to.
You would rather have the money,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I mean, it's not hands anymore on one side of it, right? It's
Right.
still kind of,
we can send them a letter saying, this is what it's gonna cost to do your road this year, please forward a check for this amount,
yeah,
and then it will be done. We can do the same thing with Bettis, although I mean, we have a good working relationship with them, I don't think they would not.
that we hold somebody hostage until they pay us too, so.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll pay that much for that.
yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, on the Bettis contract, we have no incentive in there like for the
Free.
free rock.
Doesn't have
Yeah.
And if we're gonna take away the payment and they're just gonna pay do we want to try to put that in there so that they're both the same?
Well, but we're asking them to foot quite a bit larger bill.
Well, sure,
Um,
but
We
we were
can
putting.
ask, you're talking about so many tons per mile of gravel. It wouldn't be 500 tons. We would have to calculate, you know, how many tons of gravel do we need to put on that on an annual basis to keep it up? That, to me, would be a question we would ask
Have to ask Joe.
Joe, and then we would put that into Bettis' contract, right?
Yeah, and that's.
Because it could be 6,000
Sure.
tons instead of 500.
Yeah. But I mean, now, to me, that would be something that we need to look at, because right now we're footing the bill for the haul route, we're footing the bill, most of the bill for the
I mean,
dust abatement.
if we're applying this evenly to Hams and Bettis,
And that's what I'm trying to get at.
Hams is 250 tons per mile for their haul route, so that'd be 2,000 tons for Bettis for their haul route.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to get it evened out.
That would be the same.
Yeah.
That easy?
That, yeah, somebody, I don't know who to tell,
Do what?
who will calculate, somebody's gonna calculate that amount for mid-states, what the rock would be.
It'd be 2,000 tons instead of 5. So Hams were getting 500 tons,
Okay.
and they have a 2-mile haul route. So if we divide that out by the mile, that's 250 tons per mile. So,
2,000 tons.
and then that way, they're writing a check for everything. We maintain it with the gravel. If we need to put more gravel on, we need to put. Thoughts?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm trying to even it out between Hams and Bettis, so
That
they're
would do
both,
it.
they're both doing the same thing. So
That
I
would
can't
do
point fingers and say, well, you're favoring them more than you're.
That would do it. And the only other piece, if we're back to talking about Bettis' contract, would be that we're not going to, I think in the current contract, we're required to take so many tons. If they're gonna create a pile for us, we're required to take so many. Not gonna be that way anymore. Because we're not gonna guarantee that we're gonna take, I don't know, is it 65,000 tons, I think, out of their quarry on an annual basis.
Yeah.
We're gonna go where the gravel's cheapest.
So which they're gonna say they were not using roads as much, and therefore all these fixes are not necessary.
They could.
Yeah. Just thinking of the arguments from somebody. Okay. Well, I think that that's enough information to answer this person.
Thanks, Derek, for
And then
putting that together.
And I'll probably be able to at least draft out a form agreement that we can talk about as far as making sure that's what you want.
Okay.
Okay? I think we gotta have, the only other thing I got is executive session.
Okay. Attorney-client,
Yep.
possible litigation. Okay. So we go into executive session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege, discussion for a period of 15 minutes, starting at 10:53. Returning to this room, the end of that 15-minute period for discussing possible litigation.
It's 11:07. And just the attorney, and
It's 11:07?
well, 2:11.
Oh, 2:11. Yeah,
And just the attorney president.
with the attorney president.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's probably moving second to go into executive session, attorney-client privileges, possible litigation against the county, for 15 minutes, starting 11:03, returning to this room.
No, starting at 10:50.
10:53, excuse me. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Back in.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's all I had on my list to talk about. Scheduling. I think.
So what was discussed last week as far as scheduling?
So we had talked about possibly just having council here every other week. And if a department head needed, it was a non-emergency, they would just have to make arrangements to be down here to talk to council when he's here. To try to help save some money.
Yeah.
And then possibly showing up at 10 o'clock instead of being here at 9 and sitting for an hour.
Right, okay. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Well, and I think that's fine with me. I think there's slack time that's just a travel to my mind because I don't necessarily have a regular scheduled thing, obviously Monday morning, so even the times I'm off, it's not like I'm going to be, unless I'm on vacation or something, I'd be there for a call if you know, something absolutely has to be answered. And then,
Okay.
and I think I like the idea of 10 o'clock is fine and having folks come in. And I guess is it the idea that we're not emailing any more questions or?
No, I think if they have questions and want to email you,
Yeah.
that may be a easier way for them to do that too.
Yeah, and that was the thinking on that for me is just so you understand why is I got a lot more resources there in my office than I do here. I just had like a question that Christy gave me and I get an answer. It's just kind of, it just feels like I don't have all my faculties that I normally have to run around and do stuff with. So,
Sure.
Or, concentration's kind of always active back there.
And then you're flexible enough that if we would need you on an off week, just let you know in advance.
Yeah, and I think it's like, the way I would want it, if we started out, was to start it out every other, and then just say, you know, if it's working better on second and third of the month, and first and last, or off, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that, so, and I do have, mediation, it's just suddenly called for next Monday, so that's probably when, unless you guys have a thing, that's, maybe we'll start.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
Start that immediately or wait till the first of the year?
I think we can start it now, try and give it a trial basis, see what it
No
does.
problem with it. No issues.
So we'll just start, yeah. So we got a trial basis till July and see what it does. Oh, July's here.
Almost, yeah, we'll, let's just go with it and see what happens.
Okay, perfect.
So next week, skip or be here?
You will not be here because of mediation.
Oh, I didn't hear you say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, then we'll start, I'll be the next, and
Okay.
we'll skip.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
All right.
We'll give her a try and see.
That's it for me then, got the information.
I don't have anything else. Anybody?
I'm gonna look back.
It's a great experiment, to see if you get in more trouble
There you go.
without being with me. I'm betting there.
I can
Without
get
me-
in trouble without anybody.
I'm guessing you get less trouble.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think I encourage your instincts.
All good. Erin told me this morning she would try to have bills done by the end of the meeting, so if we stop up and sign, just that she hasn't anything unusual.
The property down on S and 92nd south of Wake where there was odor coming from, are you aware of it?
Isn't that the one we were talking about?
No, this is
No.
a different one.
This is a different one. The sheriff.
Yeah, you're aware of it, it was down
The
on.
sheriff went down and did a report, 92nd.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
92nd. If that moves ahead, again, Northeast Kansas, it's not a sewage problem. It's what we believe is
Garbage and,
Yeah.
food items being picked up for free to maybe feed the animals, but they're sitting in the hot sun and just
Yeah.
rotting and
yeah, I think that's, I'm having a hard time seeing how.
how do we proceed with a nuisance on something like that?
Well, there's, did I send that? There's a state statute.
You did.
Okay, and that's basically, it's all county attorney and sheriff,
Okay. So the
charged.
county, okay.
And then, I guess there, I don't know what the penalty would be, but I'm assuming it's something like what we've seen before, that they don't clean it up, then every day is an additional violation, so.
I just want to make sure that, yeah, we've done everything. Tim, I know he's had somebody down there and investigated it, but it's pretty bad, especially when the neighbor lives on the north side of them,
Yeah,
and it's just across the road.
people in Southwind,
Oh yeah, south wind like today, it's gonna be horrendous.
yeah, so that's, I think that's the cleanest, the most efficient way is to whack it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
All right.
I'll be back in a minute if you think of anything else.
Senator Moran was here on Friday. He came in and said hi.
Okay. Who did?
Senator Moran,
Himself?
yes.
It's election year.
Huh?
It's election year.
Not for him, it's not. He said he was in Winchester for some meeting, and so he was just walking through the square and said hi to people. And he came up into our office. He came to the courthouse.
Just my own problems.
I did not.
He didn't know about it.
Sherry just brought up that we probably need to get somebody to go move the property and they had it. So it's still, we've got one here, we got the one in Mayetta.
And what are we at on those?
Well, Lisa came in and talked to me about
Yeah,
it.
that's one of the ones that she's gonna send a letter to the city.
And that sale goes on when?
Well, if they don't, it looks like she's gonna send a letter saying, tell us in 2 weeks if you wanna buy it. If you don't, then it would be a sealed bid and be set for whenever.
Okay.
It'd be good for bidding purposes.
Is
Doesn't
there,
have to be, just has to be advertised in their fall.
is there any reason we can't get one of the road bridge employees?
Well, so that's what I'm saying, get
Oh,
somebody, yeah. No, I mean, that's what I mean, we need to get somebody to go mow, otherwise Kara said if the city mows it, they're gonna charge us, so. Yeah, I'd say let's see if we can get road and bridge to go out there. Is the one in Holton being mowed?
And Pat's mowing it.
Pat's mowing it, oh, it's right down the street, that's right, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Are we reimbursing him for that?
He's doing it while
He's
he's
here.
using the mower
Okay.
here.
Okay. So yeah, you want to just reach out to Joe and see if they've got
Yep.
somebody who can, in a trailer to go do that? You just need the location of it.
Yeah, address, get somebody to do it.
Might take a weed or two.
I'll bet.
Some of those places have a lot of junk in them too, so they know that, right?
They want to walk it first.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it's an empty lot.
Oh, is it? No house on it?
All right, well, you guys have a good day.
All right,
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot, see you later.
You too.
Have 250th.
Do we want to ask Kate if she would be okay with Steve going out and doing that work for her in the fall?
Yeah, we're gonna need to.
Do we want to do that
Yeah, we
today?
do that today.
I mean, I'm just asking, what do you guys think about it? It doesn't seem like it would be, unless I'm missing something, you're taking photos from all sides and then you're measuring it.
If he has the direction from Kate as to what she needs and a list of, I need X, Y, and Z, it ought to be pretty straightforward for him to do, so, yeah.
I think so.
It kind of sounded like he was gonna talk to Kate about it too.
Say what?
Didn't it sound like Steve was gonna talk to Kate?
I don't know if he is or not. I thought maybe it would be better if it came from
And
us.
that's probably true.
So, yeah, if you want her to come down, that'd be fine, why don't you go and give her a call, see if she can come down.
Christie also, that you guys want to talk about budget is available.
Okay. Hi, Kate. How are you?
Okay.
What do you think about the idea of possibly sending Steve out to do measuring and take photos for the office?
For new construction.
Well, under your direction with a checklist of what he wants, or what you need done, what you want.
So Amanda and Carrie just got back from class. So they've had months now of being trained before that class to do data collection on new construction. It's not a matter of just taking pictures and just taking measurements and that's it. There are codes that need to be done, like there'd have to be training on that. So why?
It was just a thought that we're trying to come up with to see if we can, help save money somehow. That was just it. We're just spitballing.
Yeah, I was just basing it off of it just based on our conversation last time we were down here in September, new construction, they would go out and take pictures and measurements. And I thought, well, okay, would it help if in September, Steve blocks off every Wednesday or whatever that is, and he goes out and he collects that, takes photos, takes measurements, and then brings that information back to you and says, here, that's done. Now you can do with it as you see fit, just as a way to help. But apparently it's not, based on the reaction, and I guess I don't understand that.
Because you're wanting me to give up a person just for this new construction
So what I said.
period. So, I mean, help me understand what it is that you're just wanting him to go out to collect new construction.
If that would be helpful. Again, I thought it seemed pretty straightforward based on what our conversation was, that somebody has to go out and take photos. You're saying that
So two
why they're
people go
on
out.
site, hang on, let me finish my statement now. What you're saying is if you go out on site, you take photos, you take length, width of all sides, then you sit there on the property and you apply these codes to it? It's not something that's done back
You
here?
make note of what type of components are on
So
that
thank
house.
you. So it's made with wooden structure, he can make, somebody has to make notes of what all the parts and pieces are that they're
And-
constructing at, whether it's vinyl siding, whether it's wood siding, laminate shingles, whatever, that type of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And I was not here for the discussion last week, so I'm.
Yeah, it's
I
what's in
read
there.
what's there, so yeah, I mean,
It was simply just conversation that we were having about trying to figure out, okay, would that take a piece off somebody's plate? And yeah, at the end of the day, we have to look. We've asked the sheriff's department to look at their staff, possibly reducing by 2. We're asking Road and Bridge to look at their department, and possibly we've already eliminated 2 positions out there, probably 2 more. There were 2 positions open, we're not filling either one of those, and We may have some guys that are eligible for, or are looking to retire. And we're gonna have a conversation with them about that. If they do, great. And
About taking early retirement and getting paid for early retirement, and then just not filling that position.
they're not gonna get paid for taking early retirement. They can take retirement. If you're eligible, it's not early. Right? There's a difference. If I'm not eligible for retirement and somebody wants to fulfill that requirement to get to retirement, we have people who are fully eligible for retirement. And if they want to take that now, and we'll incentivize it by going ahead and paying their longevity through the end of the year, and they get their insurance, or not the insurance, but their vacation and stuff, then there's some folks that may want to take advantage of that. They may have been thinking about retiring. So that's on the road bridges side. I mean, right now.
Instead of just firing them.
It's not firing, it's a reduction in force.
Okay.
There's a huge difference.
Okay.
And see, Kate, I don't understand the attitude, because there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference between a reduction in force. A reduction in force means that if we eliminate a position, if somebody retires and we eliminate that position, we can't turn around and fill it without a period of time. But yeah, we have, I mean, these aren't easy decisions for us. And you know, we're doing the very best we can with the money that we have, but yeah, we have to take a long, hard look at what we have. And, you know, what would you do if you were sitting in this chair? I guess I would ask. Just tell the taxpayers they're gonna have to pay
How did
way
we get
more?
here?
How did we get here? Good question. And that answer is that the CPA that we had made a mistake by putting our cash on hand as money that is budgeted for on an annual basis, which got us into a pickle. And now we got to get out of that pickle. That's how we got here.
So how long before that pickle is fixed?
We're working on it.
Yeah.
But there's also, one of the things that screwed us too is I'll say it's revenue neutral that the state's trying to force everybody to go to.
Yeah.
Because that makes you spend down your cash reserves.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't, Mark. And we had this conversation. I don't want to argue about this today.
I'm not arguing, I'm just stating fact. Like
It's not a fact, though.
Yes, it is. We can agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree. If you have a budget and you know that the revenue coming in covers that budget, you should never have to spend your cash on hand, your savings. But what we weren't told was that the savings that we have has to be factored into that. So it'd be like you buying a house and your house payment's $100 a month, but you only have 75 coming in. So that means you have to take 75 out of your savings account every month to make that $100 payment, right? Well, eventually that savings goes away. We can't do that. So that means we have to cut spending. And so I'm looking at this as an opportunity to figure out ways to be more economical with what money we have. But we have no choice in that. What was done, and we're going to move ahead with that. But the state also requires us, okay, and Christy can explain this better than I can, the state requires us to show all cash on hand as income. Well, that makes no sense, does it? That's a question.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We're doing the very best we can with what revenue we have coming in without having to strap taxpayers with a huge increase in property tax. That's it in a nutshell. You're not being targeted in any way, shape, or form. We're looking at every department that we can to how can we trim.
We cut line item by line item on almost all of that.
we have two. And
Right, and I appreciate
It's
that.
not just your department.
Yeah, it isn't.
The cash carryover.
Has
is
every
not there.
department been called to the table like this?
Yeah, everybody's been down here, and we've had this.
Not the initial conversation, but the additional conversations, not the initial one.
Okay.
But I've been called down here twice now about it, and I have worked with
Today was
Christie.
just a conversation about.
I have worked with Christie too on those line items.
Yeah, so the only departments that we have brought back in here would be the sheriff's department and road and bridge and you. Yours
Because
because
you
we,
approved another employee in my office last year. That's why I'm here.
and now we have to look at taking that away. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it is what it is, and I don't like it either. I don't like having to take 4.
My people aren't ready to retire. So the idea that
I'll let you guys speak to this more, because I'm.
there's nothing else to say, I guess, on my part, so.
Okay. I mean, like I said, that was just a question thing that was brought up, so we wanted to get your opinion and see what you say. That's all this was today, okay?
But also, Kate, part of this conversation is that I understand your frustration. Trust me, I do. Joe's frustrated. And Tim's frustrated. I've had a couple of conversations with him, and we've had multiple conversations with Joe about this. But the difference is, we're not the enemy. And it appears that you're just ticked off at us. That's the way you come across. And I don't think it's right. It is, we're in the situation that we're in, and we have to figure out a solution to it. And this may be part of the solution. You know, I don't know, folks, you help me out here. I don't know how else to explain it, that
Well, I think that we called her debtor to get her opinion on whether it would work or not, so now we just need to work through and see what we can do. So,
yeah, in your opinion, you don't think having Steve go out and do this is any validity
The
whatsoever?
time it's gonna take to train Steve to do that,
Okay.
yes, I can do that. I've done it. That's just gonna put me back in the same position I was in,
Okay.
so that's.
Sounds like that answer is no, then.
Even if he went out with one of the people that are already trained.
It's not just a warm body, it's not just a body out there, it's having the knowledge of how to enter that information in when he gets back. So he would just be a tape measure holder.
Right, and that's exactly what we were trying to say, is that having somebody to go out and take those so that your personnel doesn't have to get in a vehicle, drive out to a location, take those measurements, take those photos,
He
he
should
can
not be
collect
going,
them.
he doesn't need to be going out on his own for that.
Why?
The amount of time to take somebody down to his office and like, okay, Steve, explain to me all of these notes that you've made, which the majority of the time it's easy, but if you have two people out there or one person out there that knows what they're doing, there isn't that time of having to explain these notes, or does he know how to draw up a sketch, which is not that difficult, but it's all part of the process and whatever. I mean, it can be done.
okay, thank you. I got a question on the road and bridge budget, down here in the bottom section. Why does it have sheriff down there? Am I missing something, or is that just a miss?
No, I think on that budget for sure, more than just shit.
Well, this was the new one I looked at that was laying here, I put in, or should it be salaries? I bet you it should be salaries, not sheriff. I think it's salaries, because that's the same number that's up above. guess we had new sheets last week.
Yeah,
So I think that sheriff is salaries. I'm looking at it right.
no.
That's the number
Page
that's up.
you want,
No, it's this one, right,
right here.
that's
Yeah.
sure.
And that's the number that's up in salaries up here on top.
This is, I mean, because you have elderly service, contractual. supply.
And I think elderly services shouldn't be in there either.
Then we just need to have Christie explain why it's in there, and if
Yeah,
that's skewing
it's-
the number.
Because that's something,
Well, like I say, we're under sheriff, I believe it should be salaries, that's the same number that's up above. the
it's up
very first
above
line.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's just a
right.
misprint
That's the
on
same thing that's carried down here, it's a share.
the, yeah. I didn't catch it in the last week's, or 2 weeks ago. Okay. Well, we're gonna have Christie come down. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and get this taken care of. Has everybody read their minutes from June 22nd, 2026? Any corrections or additions? And I will not be voting on this since I was not here, but I will accept a motion to approve the minutes of
So
June
moved.
22nd, 2026. Second,
Second,
been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of June 22nd, 2026. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All
okay,
right.
wait a minute, what about the bylaws? Get that to you here.
And is this just changes or additions to the bylaws that the planning commission needs to look over? The highlighted
They
portion?
were sending it to us, right?
I thought that's the way it already was on there.
Yeah, this piece right here,
Uh-huh.
yeah, just making sure that that's what we wanted in there, I believe.
Yeah,
Well, and there again, how many people do we have on there right now? How many are serving?
I thought there was 8 or 9. I thought they had full,
there's none.
Do they have a full slate now?
I,
Yeah, there's none.
And are all of them coming? Because he's got down here on the attendance section.
and then the planning commission chairperson, that just, I think that, those are the changes.
Okay. I have no problem with it. General consensus is okay to send it back on as is? Okay. All right. So what, does anybody have any idea what we're down to now? I guess we need Christie down here to tell us what,
Yeah.
It's your turn. Okay. She said like 5 minutes.
Go over budget then,
yeah, I think I need to.
so we're gonna adjourn go into a work session.
Yep. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting, go into work session on budget. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried.